It's 21 minutes past 8. Welcome back to Sunrise Today. Well, just to again inform you that an explosion just happened this morning. We understand it's at about 6:45 a.m. in Nyanya Park in Abuja. There are some casualties, but we will get you more information as to get them. But we also like to just this caveat that, look, yes, much as we understand, citizen journalists have got to do what they have to do, but please, do not tweet or stop tweeting those gory pictures. They're not looking good early in the day or at whatever point in time. You have to respect some of those families because some of them get to hear this information or see the image from what you tweet. So if you can, just desist from tweeting those gory pictures. They're not looking good at all. Well, let's get to our focus for this segment where we'll talk about the ongoing national conference. Moses Siasia joins us now. He's the convener, Nigeria Young Professionals Forum. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
How is this forum concerned about, first of all, tell us, what's your concern otherwise about this conference? Well, yes, some say, look, it's better to talk, Georgia than war, and they think that that is what is happening. But at the start of the conference, the game changed. What do you see, or what do you think about the ongoing conference?
Well, it gives me great joy. I'm very, very satisfied with the level of our outcome concerning, the fight and the cry for a national conference. My organization, the Nigerian Young Professionals Forum, have actually advocated for a national conference before this time. And I believe that, as a people and also as a nation, it's very important for us to have a national conference, a conference that will bring about the much needed growth and development of our nation, a conference that will bring about a new constitution for our country called Nigeria. Because as far as I'm concerned, we are not in a democratical dispensation yet, because we don't have a people's constitution. We are using the constitution under the military. So you cannot use a constitution that was made by, the military in the democratic era. So I believe that, the national conference is one of the surest way in which we can turn all these challenges that we have as a nation and also as a people into windows of opportunity. And I believe that it's very key, it's very timely for the growth and development of this nation.
So thankfully, the conference is already underway. As many people have been agitating, the federal government has listened. They've set up an advisory committee, and the committee came up with guidelines for hosting a conference. And now we're already is it in the second month of this particular conference. How would you rate what you've seen so far?
Well, I believe that I foresee this. What's going on in national conference today? There's going to be a lot of issues because of the accumulated issues that we had as a country. I believe that these issues are issues that would arise in every society that have this kind of situation that we find ourselves as a nation. The process in which that brought about the national conference, the setting up of the committee and all that, it has never happened in the history of Nigeria. Like, the constitution we had, the independent constitution in 1960 and the republican constitution in 1963 and the military constitution, the composition of those constitutions did not follow this process that the national conference is following today. We had a committee that came up with recommendations, all inclusive, different interests, different groups, professional bodies, government representation, ethnic representation, and all that. I believe that the conference, the composition itself of the conference is a people's, that covers a lot of interests that concerns, this nation. And also, I believe that, the issues that they are having today, it's not, to me, it's not a surprise.
Is it not
but I believe is, from the mess, that's when you get the message. Because I believe that we have a lot of young people who are also members of our group that are also, participating as delegates in the national conference. So we'll talk to ourselves. We have a position. We sent, our own position earlier now before the conference starts.
So you have a position?
Yeah, we had a position.
What's your position? Do you mind sharing with us?
Yeah, our position is for us to have, a new constitution, a constitution that will bring the much needed growth and development to our people who have been disillusioned and impoverished by successive government, and also to use this platform as a means to eliminate ethnic and religious sentiments that we have as a nation. Issues of injustice, issues of morals, issues of values, issues of discipline. So those were, the positions that we came up with as a group, and we actually sent it to those, involved in the national conference.
Well, so far so good. Sorry,
Yeah.
Sulaiman. I was asking if you're satisfied with what has been coming out so far. I mean, there's been squabbles. We haven't really heard much from them. But you say this is normal. Are you really optimistic as to what exactly will come out of this? 492 people, do not forget, are gathered there, and your position is going to be a very tiny voice, so to speak, amongst the other many interests that will be competing for attention as well.
Yeah, I understand all that. The composition of the conference, as I've earlier said, you have people of diverse interest, from diverse culture, different understanding, different religion, different mindset, different cultural values. So all coming together in one place, to champion a way forward for a country that have been so much, how will I put it? We had a lot of issues as a nation. We still have those issues. So it's going to be difficult, but I believe that they will come out from it. I'm very optimistic that they will come out from it. And this conference is going to be one of which that will bring about, the new protocols, for the development of this nation.
You talked about being maybe represented, and there you're talking about young persons, the youth of this country. I'm sure maybe one or two of them. Do you have anyone who's a member of your body at the national conference?
Yeah, we have two of them.
Two of them. So, yeah. And we'll also look at the issue concerning representations that people have said is not enough for the youth. What specifically is the message that they're bringing? Because we always say we need a people's constitution. It may sound verbose and vague. Specifically, what exactly would you love to see that can help us solve the issue of ethnicity and tribalism in our country?
Yeah, because if you look at it, we have made our position very clear, and our position is this. As young people, we have been nourished by a generation of broken promises. And also as a nation, what brings us together is greater than what tears us apart as a nation. Now, most importantly, we have issues that concerns leadership. We have issues that concerns corruption in Nigeria today. And we have issues that concerns, treason. So if we have a people's constitution, a constitution that is made by the people themselves. If you look at it, Nigeria as a country, as a nation, we are not yet a nation. That's what I keep telling people, because there's no spirit of nationhood in us. No spirit of nationhood. And this is what I keep telling people, that, I don't have, actually, to me, I don't really have anything to lose without getting myself involved in this process, bringing young people together, trying as much as possible to advocate for, the growth of young people. Now, most importantly, when I travel out of this country, nobody asks me which political party or which interest do you protect. They ask me, are you a Nigerian? And that is a country that I call my own. And that is the spirit that I want every Nigerian, and most importantly, young people, because it's our future. Because we are seen as trustees of prosperity. Now, most importantly, Moakwe mentioned, the composition of the representation to the national conference. We also have issues too. Because you cannot decide the future of those who are seen as trustees of prosperity, the future of Nigeria, without carrying the young people along. Because who is going to be the custodian of whatever decision or whatever recommendations that is made, in the national conference? So, but we must start from somewhere. And I want to emphatically appreciate the present administration, President Goodluck Jonathan. The sincerity itself goes a long way, because we actually appealed to government that, look, we are saying that we need some level of youth representation. And that was given to us. Even if it is one, even if it is two. But we must start from somewhere. And that's the message I keep telling a lot of our young people. I've seen a lot of my members coming to me to say, Chairman, we don't have much representation in national conference. We must, write a letter of protest. We must do this, we must do that. But I keep telling them that, look, you have a role to play. And in a nation where the old dominates the young, and in a nation where the elites does not want the young to strive, we're in a society that does not encourage young people. So we must start from somewhere. It's a process. So we have started this way, and I believe that in no distant time, a lot of things is going to change.
So with this, should I say, inclusion of some young persons in the national conference discussion, it means, the encouragement has actually started.
It has started. It has started. If you look at it here, it hasn't happened before in the history of this country. Look at the 1999 constitution that was made under the military. Were there any young representation?